Assalamualaikum and hi to our lecturer, Dr. Hasanuddin bin Hassan. So here our presentation for assignment 2, which is group assignment, and we are from group 33. Group members, Nur Emilia Nirda binti Salahuddin, A20A1680, Siti Nur Farahin binti Muhammad Yusof, A20A1977, and last but not least, Siti Sulaiha binti Abdullah, A20A2276. First of all, I will give an introduction. Management is the process of planning, controlling, and leading within an organization, while administration means guidance, leadership, and control of the efforts of the groups towards some common goal. One of the difference is administration have conceptual skills while management have technical skills. In this assignment, we will see Frederick Winslow, Henry Gann, Henry Fayol, Mary Parker Follett, and Max Weber, who are the scientists who developed the basic concept that is used by general administration in management today. Now, I will start with Frederick Winslow Taylor, the father of scientific management. Probably the most famous management pioneer of all is Frederick Winslow Taylor. Frederick Winslow Taylor was born on 20 March 1856 into an upper-class liberal Philadelphia family. Frederick Winslow Taylor is an American engineer from Philadelphia. In 1911, Frederick Winslow Taylor published his work, The Principles of Scientific Management, in which he described how the application of the scientific method to the management of workers greatly could improve productivity. Scientific management methods call for optimizing the way that tasks were performed and simplifying the job enough so that workers could be trained to perform their specialized sequence of motions in the one best way. After years of various experiments to determine optimal work methods, Taylor proposed the following 4 principles of scientific management. First is evaluate a task by scientifically studying each part of the task. Second is carefully select workers with the right abilities for the task. Third is give workers the training and incentive to do the task with the proper work methods. And fourth is use scientific principles to plan the work methods and ease the way for workers do their job. Next, for the Frederick Winslow to this context, we have to. First is reduce worker inventiveness, requires management to monitor all viewpoints of worker conduct and unforgiving to workers who don't meet the standard. Second is equal division of work and responsibility between the management and workers. For example, companies as FedEx and Amazon have utilized an upgrade adaptation of Frederick's original theory. Each task is broken down to the littlest movement, and since everybody is working within the same unthinking way, it increments predictability and consistency whereas diminishing mistakes. It is generally simple for managers to supplant workers and hold the same efficiency. Second is engineers in the Ford industry were able to standardize their job routines being guided by the principle of scientific management. They were able to increase their production, and the Ford gained recognition all over the US for its production of quality motor vehicles. We move to discuss the scientific management theory's advantages. First is responsible for enhanced production as it concentrates on steady improvements in business operations. There is fruitful cooperation between managers and workers and hence enhanced teamwork achieved. So, they can assist in production in the organization. Second is managers can have good control over production. Employees become specialists in their field as they do the same task repeatedly. This makes it easy for the manager to have control over employees. And third is there are triple benefits for the consumers. Consumers pay fewer prices and can get the best quality products. For the disadvantages of scientific management, I took 3. First, the theory requires an investment of hard capital and considered as a costly system. The establishment of work-study, planning department, training of workers, and standardization requires more money. Second, there are more chance for financial loss as there are more changes that take place within the organization. Third, the scientific management theory is considered time-consuming as it requires complete reorganizing and mental revision of the organization. The theory, when adopted, needs more time for standardization, study, and specialization, or else at the time of overhauling, the workers suffer.
Henry Gunn. Henry Gunn is probably best known for the Gantt chart theory. Gantt charts illustrate the start and finish dates to the terminal elements and summary elements of a project. It can be used to show current schedule, status using percent complete shadings, and a vertical to-day line. So, in my point of view, Gantt charts are necessary for managers today because it assesses how long a project should take, determine the resources needed, and plan the order in which you will complete tasks. For example, in our scenario, if quality assurance of core modules reveal a problem, then you may need to delay training and halt development of the management information system until the issues is resolved. This will help you to keep your plans, your team, and your sponsors up to date. So the advantage of Gantt chart is it established the initial project schedule, allocated resources to ensure everybody knows who is responsible for what, make project adjustment because the initial plan will need many adjustments, identify and report problems as everything is depicted visually. You can immediately see what should have been achieved by a certain date and if the project is behind schedule. So the disadvantage for Gantt chart is it is not perfect and can become overly complex with too many activities, and it also not good at showing the relative priorities of individual tasks and the resources expended of a task. They can clearly show the elapsed time of a task but don't easily communicate how many people may be needed to complete it. In conclusion, Gantt chart is an important tool of material management which saves wastage of material but need proper planning and implementation of defined activities and planning.
Hi, my name is Zahra Abdullah. I will talk about Henry Fayol and Mary Parker Follett. Henry Fayol was a French coal mine engineer, director of mines, and modern management theoretician. His scientific management theory forms the base for business administration and business management. In the academic world, this is also known as Fayolism. He is the founder of the 14 Principles of Management and the 5 Functions of Management. These are the 14 principles of management, and the last one is Spirit de Corps, means that managers should embrace and promote unity within an organization by encouraging teamwork among the employees and all the stakeholders. The 14 principles of management can be used to manage organizations and are useful tools for forecasting, planning, process management, organization management, decision making, coordination, and control. And these are the 5 functions of management: planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, and controlling. That all includes a flexible action plan that considers a firm's resource, works in progress, and future market trends. This covers requirement and training, coordinating activities, and making employees' duties clear. Henry Fayol's ideas have significant implications for the education of future managers and business practices. Because Henry Fayol's idea will be relevant to educators, it is quite possible that these theories will be modified so that they could better fit the needs of changing workplace. This is an example. The management of Volkswagen company based in Germany applies division of labor to manufacture quality products. Workers are allocated tasks to manufacture vehicles based on their expertise. The advantage for the theory is organizational structure, and enterprise leaders should compensate personnel in a manner. And the disadvantage is characteristic of command and manipulate. In conclusion, Henry Fayol's classical theory of management has a wide range of application in today's business. The theory helps identify the best practice to manage organizations and achieve the predetermined goals and objectives. The next one is Mary Parker Follett. She was an American social worker, management consultant, philosopher, and pioneer in the fields of organizational theory and organizational behavior. She's one of the great women management experts in the early days of classical management theory and being called the mother of management. These are all the principles of ordination. The first one is direct contact, second one is early stage, the third one is reciprocal relationship, and the last one is continuous process. All these four principles of ordination need to channel it in everything we do so that it can make it happen. Until now, Mary Parker Follett is better known for her pioneering work on management because she looked to approach organization as a group networks rather than as hierarchical structures and attended to the influence of human relations within the group. For example, this standard had been utilized by way of DuPont Chemical Company in 1920s in the first matrix-style organization. A man or woman can also file each to proposal supervisors, such as income or finance, and to product manager, and to a product manager. For advantage of this theory, the belief that whole separation of human being from the technical trouble cannot happen, and the disadvantage is Follett's idea of integration is primarily based on her appreciation of the person as non-stuck with neighborhood. Conclusion. Follett's contribution is relevant to managers in contemporary society. This is because it has completely changed the relationship of the manager with the employees in the society. That is all from me. Thank you.
Lastly, Max Weber. So, Max Weber has 6 characteristics or rules of bureaucracy. Firstly, hierarchical management structure. Secondly, division of labor. Thirdly, formal selection process. Fourth, career orientation. Fifth, formal rules and regulation. And lastly, impersonality. So, in my point of view, bureaucracy is still relevant and can be applied in the context of administration today. But there are some views of Max Weber are no longer appropriate to the change and context of administration as in Malaysia itself. For example, in the system civil service in Malaysia itself, a Director General will channel instruction to middle management such as the Assistant Director. So the Assistant Director will convey the instruction to the Administrative Assistant to implement the agenda. The Director General's instruction as the top management officer are not communicated directly to the administrative assistant as a subordinate employee but delivered through middle management. So the advantages of the bureaucracy is the work is divided among the employees according to their skill, and when there is a system in similar situation becomes somewhat predictable for the management. The disadvantages of bureaucracy is the exploitation of power, which is in a bureaucracy, managers have a higher authority which can be misused by them to meet their interests or to dominate their subordinates. The bureaucracy theory does not entertain any change or modification in the management system, which make it quite rigid. In conclusion, the state of bureaucracy is actually depends on efficiency the government that governs in ensuring that the guidelines used cannot run away from the original concept either as championed by Max Weber or other sociologists.
In conclusion, the organization is an open framework that works inside and interacts with the environment. The framework's approach to management incorporates inputs from the external environment and from clients, the change process, the communication framework, external variables, yields, and a way to re-energize the framework. No doubt, a manager who makes genuine endeavors to interpret theory into reality is bound to extend efficiency more than a manager who chooses to utilize the fire brigade or trial and mistake approach. So this is the list of our references. That's all from our group. Thank you.